Okay. Let's take it to the Reverend. Reverend, I'm sure you've heard both the retired general, you've also heard the SGF, the Secretary to the Government, SSG rather, of Plateau State. What is your own interpretation of what is played out here? Because we have a lot of version depending on who we speak with.
Thank you very much for bringing me up. And sincerely speaking, the trouble in the Plateau, as the Secretary to Plateau State Government said, it's not just in the Plateau. It's actually in most communities that call themselves the Middle Belt. The challenge is that every day you wake up, some strange people will come and attack you, come in numbers, attack women, attack children, wipe out an entire community. And you ask yourself, what exactly are they looking for? And that's why the interpretation is that it's land grabbing, because when you create fear in the minds of the people, you chase them away from their ancestral land, you take what rightfully belongs to them, and probably after some months or years, they cannot come back because they are not certain if things are well, then strange people will come and take that place. And so that's where the land grabbing comes in. But you cannot also do away with what the general said. You know, I've been in development work for some years, and I used to argue a lot with people who say that our crisis is farmers' herders, and I say, no, wait a minute. I grew up to know farmers' herders conflict. I know the herders do, or the farmers or the herders do not have gun. I don't know them for killing women, for killing children just because someone encroached in a farm or an animal is killed. They may exchange words angrily, but they have a way to settle it. But we have criminals who have taken over our land, who come with sophisticated weapons, who come in the night, who kill women, kill children, kill husbands, destroy everything, and you still call them herders or farmers. This is where the use of those terms becomes quite complicated and continue to extend this evil. Because until we begin to call a criminal, unless we begin to call someone who do something evil, that what he's doing is wrong, we are not going to go after them. So the challenge is actually multifaceted. We have the criminal part of it. We have the land grabbing part of it. We have also the issues that sometimes people think that we shouldn't say that exist. The manipulation of politics, or the joblessness of young people, and so much, and so on and so forth. You can name them. These things keep going on. And you ask me a question, why the Middle Belt? You all know that the land is fertile. You all know that the land is actually good for whatever those who are interested want to. But I don't think you need to come to kill people before you benefit from the land. You can come peacefully. You can live peacefully, because I grew up to know that our people are accommodative, and they have accommodated a lot of people many decades ago. And those people farm and even grew up to say they belong to that community, and nobody asks them questions. But when it becomes you go after people's life, you destroy their farmland, you destroy their homes, you kill them. And sometimes, you know, in order to make it look big, they destroy their places of worship. And that's why you have so many versions and you have so many things. But the most important thing I want to dwell on is these people are criminal, and when we call them criminal, we know what to do with them. These people, if they come for land grabbing, they should know that in every land, even though everybody comes, but there are people who own the land. So we cannot continue to fold our arms and allow this evil to continue and create fear. And when you have fear in the minds of people, then there's no production.
Is there for you a religious angle to this? Because it's important to understand all of the different facets of this, so we're able to handle it holistically, so it's not just piecemeal here and there. Is there for you also a religious angle to this? Because as I said earlier on with the general, there are those who are saying it from different angles. Some say, well, there's a religious bit, there's an ethnic bit. You say, well, it's just land grabbing, but you can't rule out all of those other angles. So I'd like to confirm from you if that is indeed the case.
Yeah, you see, whether we say it or we don't say it, the criminals have a certain identity. And when they come, they chant religious identity. And so the religious angle comes to bear. A larger number of the farmers are of certain religious identity. But as someone who has been around and I understand some of these things very well, I sometimes downplay the religious angle because it's a diversion. Is deliberately to divert attention, because a criminal will want to hit on Christians so that, hey, it is Christian versus Muslim. But there are many other innocent Muslims who are suffering because of the attitude of the criminal. Or the criminal will hit the Muslim, it is Muslim versus Christians. But there are other Christians who are suffering, but the criminal is having a field day. And when we concentrate on this religious angle too much, we divert attention from hitting the criminal or from going after the criminal. I quite agree that the criminals use religious cover, they use tribal cover, but they are criminals. And unless we say that, that's when we can now come together, Christians and Muslims and everybody, to chase them out, to fight them. But you see, this overuse of this identity further just divides the people so that the criminals will have a field day. Because if they meet a Muslim on the road, they're going to kill him. If they meet a Christian on the way, they're going to kill him. But they do come with religious identity. And I ask this question, are they truly religious? Do they represent the faith they are claiming to? And you will agree with me that they don't.
Reverend, before we go to the SSG, let's stay with you for a moment. I understand what you're saying, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree to a couple of the things you've said. But if the general belief among the people that are affected by this carnage, if you will, is that this is religion, how do you reprogram that? Because their perception is their reality in this sense.
Yeah, you see, that's where we come in finding solution. Because in finding solution, we have to carry every stakeholder in it. We have the Christian clerics, and that's what Northern State wants to offer herself to say, look, this attacks is one too many. Every time we wake up to a new attack in another community, can we begin an honest and transparent discourse about it? A discourse that we come to the table as equal partners. A discourse that we come to the table as people who feel the pains of what is happening and begin to find solution. Because security agencies alone cannot tackle this. They have tried, and we commend them for what they are doing. I must say that the governor of Plateau State and his team have done an excellent job since this unfortunate incident happened. But you see, we need to really carry everybody so that people will begin to see it as their responsibility. Not just government, not just security, but our responsibility. I have a role to play in securing the community. You have a role to play in securing the community. After all, when you look at the number of security men we have around Nigeria with a large population, they cannot cover everywhere. So what can I do as a faith leader? What can you do as a faith leader? And in doing this, we need to win the love and trust of one another. So when we come to do the blame game of, oh, you are the one, I'm the one, we cannot really talk. So we need to give that opening so that both Muslim clerics, Christian clerics, traditional rulers, women, youth, and every stakeholder will see it as a fight against us. After all, we humans are members of one family. Why should we allow tiny division to destroy our joy, our peace, our togetherness? The progress that would have been made in Plateau for many years, the progress that would have been made in Kaduna, in Benue, in other parts of northern Nigeria, is actually not visible now because of this attacks and attack and attack. It is like we build today, we destroy it tomorrow. We build and probably allow it for 1 week, and we destroy it again and start rebuilding. Where can you find, where do you even have the money for such kind of development? So many things are wrong. What we need now is, what do we do and speak to each other genuinely, sincerely, to find solution. The blame game, we've heard a lot about it. We want to find solution. And I'm offering this that say, look, the Muslim cleric in the Plateau, we are willing to talk with you. Let nobody use our faith to give, or nobody give our faith a wrong name. Right. You shouldn't allow anybody use Islam to give it a wrong name, and I'm not going to allow anybody to use Christianity to give it a wrong name. If it is tribe, we will not allow people to use the name of our tribes and give us a bad name. We grew up to know that we want to protect a good name for our families, a good name for our tribes, a good name for what we belong. Well, what is happening today that our names are associated with killing, with destruction? So we need to start doing something.